everyone, Jeremy here from Flatware Creations. Today I've had a lot of questions about how I run my tumbler setup. So I'll bring you down here. Maybe it's going to be kind of weird, but so this is my Frankfurt Arsenal tumbler. This is the big one. It has both lids. The small one just has one lid. It does have a rubber lining in it. I run pretty much strictly Dawn dish soap, this stuff here. And today I'm also going to be doing an experiment, but I run this guy. When you get it, it comes with two of these, two of the gaskets, and two of the lids, and two of these guys. So this gasket goes on here. Onto there. And then you tighten it up. I take a couple little extra steps to make sure that it doesn't leak, and I'll show you that here in a second. What I've done is, you can kind of see here, you see there's shot stuck down in here. I know that this side is sealed, so I leave it. I put this circle here to know which side to take the lid off. That way I'm not always guessing which side it is. It's just made it so much simpler. That little bit of shot down in there does eventually come out. You can hear it's loose. So this is the tumbler itself. For the machine, it times from 25 minutes all the way around to 3 hours. It's just a regular cooking timer. You unplug it, it ticks just like an egg timer or cooking timer, and then it shuts off. I haven't been on the inside, but it is bulky and beefy and has gone through everything that I could possibly throw at it. Every challenge that I've stuck in here, they say with water, don't go over 30 pounds. I don't know if I've gotten to 30 pounds yet, but I have filled this thing completely, and it's tumbled amazing. So, my favorite thing, I have never used these. This is actually made for casting, or not casting, but for polishing brass, for bullets, for reloading. So, those are a lot bigger than these slots. The stuff we use, I don't use this. In my handy dandy cat litter box, I use 5 pounds of this media. It's stainless steel. There's 3 different shapes. There's the ball bearings, the ones I call Saturns, and then these angled pieces. You don't want the ones that has pins unless you want a satin finish. So these are going to give you that nice clean finish. And what I do whenever I'm done filtering everything out, I just pour it back in. Done. This is also what I use whenever I'm flushing everything out. Let me get this guy down. I keep this in my bathroom because I can close the door and it's quieter and I don't have to listen to it. So if you have a garage or something, put it out there. It is loud. Whenever I put my pieces in, I have my my shot in there already. Today I'm running an experiment. I have, I think, 75 flattened spoons here. Zoom. Alright, it's not going to zoom. But you can definitely tell these are tarnished. They're not completely roached. Like this one is black. It's definitely the blackest one. There's a couple that have chunks of stuff on them. Heavy tarnish residue. So all of these are going to go in here today. I'm going to use these 2 teaspoons to run my test. So I'm going to go through and show you just how I would normally set this up. And then I'm going to run the test like this. So I have my pieces that I want to tumble. I have my media in here. There's that. Where'd my Dawn go? So normally I'm going to take and put a big long squeeze of Dawn in here. I've never measured it. I just put a big squeeze in there, especially when doing knives. Knife handles are the worst. You will get the most gunk and grease and everything out of there. It's just really nasty. So I always give an extra shot. Today, I'm going to try out, I use this Blue Magic metal polish, and it does an amazing job at getting tarnish off. So I grab the worst pieces. So just a little drop of this, and you might have seen it in some of my other videos. Just a little drop of this. And it just wipes right up. So the experiment today is I'm going to take a teaspoon of this. I'm going to try and flatten it off so I get a see down there. So they do make, what's it called? They do make powders that you can put in here to help scrub the tarnish off and scrub the material. I'm just going to try and make this a flat spoon. So it's just flat. So this is just for test. It's going in there. And I'm going to do the same thing with the Dawn. So I'm going to fill up one. This feels about a little more than normal. That's a full teaspoon. Toss it in there. Clean up my mess. So that was good for me because I normally just pour, and this felt like it was a little bit too much. But that's good to know because I will probably normally put maybe a teaspoon and a half whenever I'm doing knife handles. So, over to the tub. We've got our soap in here. We've got all this stuff. Okay. So from here, because I want as much material to suspend in the water, I'm going to fill this almost all the way up. I generally use hot water. I know people use cold water. The hot, just for me, I just like to know that everything's getting heated up to release a little better. So I'm just going to fill this up. Okay, so I'm not full. I'm that far from the top. So I still have almost 2 inches, which gives me some room for it to foam up. Next, while the water is still dripping, I like to get this wet. And you can kind of see how there's parts of it that aren't wet. See that bubble kind of move around there? This is what we're going to try and get out. So I want it all wet. I'm going to put this on here. And as I'm twisting this, I want to make sure you guys can see this. Trying to see. Like you can see there's a bubble there. There's a big bubble here. As I'm squeezing this, I want to watch those bubbles kind of disappear. If they don't disappear, I'll tap on them until I get a nice clean seal. You can also squish this way. And here's how I test it before I put it on the floor. Put it on the side of the tub or sink or whatever. And I know that this side here is sealed. This side is the side that I'm worried about, which is why it's also in the tub. So I have no leaking. Now we'll come over here to my Hello Kitty floor. Fuck it out of the way. See what you guys can see. And for this, I'm going to run it for 3 hours. I have a whole bunch of stuff I need to do. So normally, it's not going to hurt it to run it longer. You can run it for an hour, half hour. Normally, I'll run it a minimum of an hour. But if I'm doing something like this, or I've finished a bunch of pieces and I just want them to just get cleaned while I'm doing other stuff, I'm just going to set it all away and just let it go until it stops, or I get a chance to come back in here and check them and see if everything's good. So right now, I'm going to set it for 3 hours, and we will come back, and this is going to get loud. Right, so it has been about 2.5 hours. I have to go do something. I finished up my other work. So let's check and see what this looks like. Lots of black. So I poured into this cat litter bucket. I'm actually going to bring you guys down. Definitely took off a lot of tarnish. Okay, so I'm going to put some more water in here. dispose of this. Put some more water in here, and then we'll dump it out and see what we got. It's empty. And we have a lot of dark water in here. Let's bring it back up here. Watch out for your media because it will want it to come out. Some more water's coming out pretty clear. And this is what we have. A lot of greasy pieces here. But greasy for us is good because greasy, and with that much black coming off, it has to have done something. So I'm just going to take this . You know what I didn't do? I didn't pull out my one piece, or one of the two pieces that has the spoon bowl that's not flattened. We got our spoon bowl here. This is my first time ever measuring. So we're looking at full teaspoon. Bring that back down. This I'm just going to rinse off a little bit. So I get a new seal on there. And I'm watching for those rings again. You know what I forgot to do? Put water in it. It's one of those important things. And again, I'm going to fill this almost all the way to the top. So we get all of that material suspended in the water. So again, not that much space. And you'll know really quickly if it's going to leak or not. Just a couple of rotations. So I'm getting ready to leave, so I'm just going to put it for 3 hours, kick it on, and we will be back later. All right, here is, I think, the third time. Hi, Gus. He's joining me today. The third time that we're emptying out this test. So let's see what everything looks like. Really dark again, but not as black as the first couple of times. It's looking good. here. So we have to remember that this started out as really tarnished pieces. So let's see what we're working with. So the pieces we started with were really, really tarnished. Just gonna get most of the water out here. Put my hand in there just a little bit to keep most of the BBs from coming down. That's good enough. And I'll just put these right back in the bucket. All right. So all of this, I didn't. All of this, I didn't polish or anything. I just took some of the worst ones I had, put them in the bucket, and then we saw the process. I put in 1 teaspoon of this metal blue polish, and then I think I did 1 teaspoon of this whenever I put that in, 1 teaspoon for the second round, and then 1 teaspoon for the third round. And this is what I have. So 3 teaspoons of this and 1 teaspoon of this total. And tumbling hours was probably 6 hours. So here's what we got. I'm gonna zoom in. Maybe if it will zoom. All right, it's not gonna zoom. Put you in here. There we go. light. So I'm going to look for the pieces that I can't use for my project today. So those are my teaspoons. I'm going to leave those in here. So I have to make bud bases today. I need at least 50 of these to be clean and ready to go. I'll call that one questionable. So I literally had to do almost nothing. Dump out the bucket a couple of times. And whenever I do my final rinse, I always rinse in hot water. It helps them dry out so much faster. And normally I'll use the towel to help dry them off. This is great. It's going to save me a lot of time, that's for sure. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Some of these I think is more wear than tarnish. So I'm pretty sure I got my 50. This one's from Hilton. That's crazy. Okay, so these are the ones that are questionable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So looking at it, this one's not. If you look at the handles, this one's been through the ringer. It's got a bunch of scars and stuff on it. But this isn't actually tarnish underneath. It's just the wear. No, it's not tarnish. That's wear. That's wear. And that's wear. You can see all the silver plate loss in there and in there, making it a little darker. So, I'm going to call this 100% a 2 thumbs up experiment. Every single one of these came clean. I didn't have to buff them, polish, anything. So it was 1 teaspoon of this and 3 teaspoons of this, and I dumped it out the first time, second time. This was the 3rd time I dumped it out, so we ran it 3 times. All right, I'm excited. This might save me a whole lot of time because I can have the tumbler doing this as I'm doing lots of other stuff, and this saved me quite a while worth of polishing. So I hope this helps. That's my tumbler setup. This is how I always do it. Besides the experiment, normally if I've already polished or I've made the pieces, I'm just going to put in, and it's going to be a teaspoon from now on. I'll just make sure I measure it out. It's a teaspoon because as I was pouring it, it felt like it was more than I would normally put in. So I'm going to call it a teaspoon, and I'll try that from now on running it. So 2 thumbs up success. I'm excited. I hope this helps you guys. And you can definitely see the the nasty grease that was on it, and that's all gone. All gone. And all I did was retumble with more Dawn. More Dawn. Alright, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. If you're new to our channel, please hit subscribe. Also, click the bell and select all so you get all of our updated videos as soon as they come out.